All right, we are locked and loaded for another exciting episode. One of our newest shows here in the studio for the Pro Business Channel in Buckhead. If you're not familiar with Buckhead, you may know it as Atlanta, Georgia. We're here in our studio, and Craig Williams, the man, the myth, the legend, is here as well. Craig, great day today so far? Yes or yes?
Yes, and yes, yes. And that's going to be Craig with a C today.
I know, right?
We've got a Craig with a K.
And that's how you remember this dude, yeah, because I think he gets $1 every time he introduces himself as Craig with a K.
There you go.
So we just started a crowdfunding campaign for K. We didn't realize it, yeah. All right, so this is, I don't want to say one of our favorite shows because we love all of our shows, but this one has a very different vibe energy. We're talking to startups, co-founders, in the cases of folks just beginning their business, their journey in business. As you mentioned earlier for the show, we also interview folks that are second, maybe third venture. Yeah,
and co-founders who've been co-founders for a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
it hadn't always started off with just one guy.
Shout out.
It sounds like WeWork has got it. They got it down. That collaborative effort, even down to the co-founders. That's why we love this show so much, because it's two instead of one, or maybe even more sometimes.
Yeah. And shout out to Arthur Blank. You're a co-founder. You're welcome to come on by. He's not a startup. All right. So having said that, you mentioned WeWork. That's is a sponsor. This show being brought to you in part by WeWork, the world's largest space to make things happen. Co-working environment.
Do what you love.
Right.
Do what you love.
It's way cool, and we welcome them here to Atlanta. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest. We're going to have our second segment. Actually, is we have 4 folks in here from a great company. And we're going to hear their story, their backstory, what they're, how they're helping people moving forward, and that's Razer. And there's no K in Razer, I don't think. Yeah,
not yet.
Yeah. So actually, Kim and Craig, if you would just take just a second before we start our first interview, and just let folks know what's your elevator pitch for Razer.
Razer allows small business owners to provide gratitude to their customers for referring new customers. You determine exactly what the customer looks like, how much they need to spend, and exactly when they should come.
Oh man, you got it covered. And
so you got your arm up their back. Yeah,
puppet master. How do we find you online?
Razer.me.
Okay. All right. We'll look forward to that something in just a moment with the whole team here from Razer. First up, we want to welcome Erica Downs to the studio from Scrubs and Scrubs.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Scrub Squared.
Yeah, Scrub Squared. So you're in the medical industry fashion scene.
Yes.
Right? So your apparel collections are influenced by the contemporary trends of fashion, music, and entertainment. So talk to us about that.
Okay, so my company's name is Scrubs and Scrubs. We sell all natural body scrubs and medical scrub tops. And specifically, our scrub tops are more different because they are just more modern. They're not what you're going to see out there from other companies that are in the industry, such as like Cherokee or Dickies. They are very fashion forward. I would equate them to designs similar to like Adidas.
So just because you work in a sterile environment doesn't mean you have to wear sterile fashion.
So they're themed. I mean, so each garment is themed.
Right. So our first set of tops have a jersey theme to them. So on the back, there's the jersey number, and then on the bottom, it says Scrub Life, which is very popular amongst nurses, but it's also popular amongst the natural skincare people as well. It's another tag that they use online.
Gotcha. So does that mean that you could also collaborate with what's on there, on the scrub itself, as far as like an ad space? Is that how you utilize the actual garment, or is it?
Well, as far as ad space, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Like if it's for a specific doctor's office, we can put that doctor's office name on there. Oh. So it's fully customizable with whatever number or whatever slogan or saying that you want on the back, as long as it's 9 characters or less, so it'll fit in there.
Gotcha. So it's not just the things that you all put out, but you welcome them to, like you said, customize.
Right.
Interesting.
And there is a gentleman named Jeffrey Canada that is just one of my idols when it comes to education. And so, of course, with starting a business, I wanted to definitely give back to something that I'm also passionate about. And so the charity and nonprofit that I've started up is actually called Committed to Education.
Okay.
And Committed to Education is actually spelled with the number 2 in the middle, because we ask for a $2 donation. And so it's our belief that if we can get 3 million people to donate $2, then we'll have raised the $6 million that we need to start it off. So, of course, there's steps to go in there. But so the $6 million would be to help the schools, the public school system in Atlanta, to help them basically provide funding to parents from birth through college. We would basically follow that family and then work with the Atlanta public school system to help basically marry family and school life. Well, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I really honestly do. I look to them for motivation, just to hear other people's stories and other ideas. And I do get really great ideas. So I've come up with excellent scripts that I've written out based on podcasts. And I listen to just a lot of motivational things that just tell you, just do it. I mean, you're going to be scared. Face your fear. Go for it. And then once you're done, celebrate that and do it again and do it again. And I have experienced a lot of success with that.
So I'm hearing scrubs and scripts. Right?
Right.
But where does this cold calling come into play in terms of your business model? Is that how you knock on the doors at the hospitals? And
Yeah, mostly it's for the medical professionals.
Right, yeah.
I can't just go into a doctor's office and try to sell something. So I try to set up the meeting with the office manager or whoever's in their advertising and marketing department and set up with them.
And so instead of delivering donuts, you're going to give her the essential oils, right?
I actually have tried going in with the cookies and everything.
That's so like 80s. Whatever,
yeah, they were more interested in the cookies at that time, so I just
than the scrubs, than the
well,
exfoliator.
Well, they were interested in this was actually with the medical scrubs. I actually did try going into a dentist's office and just bombarding them in the middle of their day, but they were very interested in the medical scrubs as well. But the cookies.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, I guess you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So people would definitely be able to find me on my website. It's www.scrubsandscrubs.net. I do most of my marketing information and sharing with the public through Instagram, which is the same, Scrubs and Scrubs. And we're also on Snapchat, Scrubs and Scrubs. We do, Mask Mondays, and we do, Foodie Friday, Thirsty Thursdays, where we do.
You got to do Scrub Saturday, Scrub Sunday. I mean, there's so many S's. Script, sales, Snickers. You got to deliver Snickers instead of cookies. At Razer, and we spoke briefly with Craig Cole with a K is one of the co-founders, and Kim is also joining us here in the studio.
Also with a K.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to be S or K, or else we ask you to leave. Yeah, sorry guys, sorry Brent and Darren. So Kim, so before we jump into the role with Darren and Brett, tell us the backstory of Razer. We heard your mission and how you help folks.
Sure, yeah. Well, Craig and I were both at different points in our life, and it's difficult to imagine, but I'm 25 years plus from graduating from my MBA, and Craig is much, much less than that. But we were both found ourselves in the same situation, which is in this new economy, looking for different things to do. And I'd been a CEO of companies, I've been a VP of marketing at public companies, and I made a decision that I didn't want to work for anybody else, because when you work for somebody else, your boss is always an idiot. And I'm an idiot, but at least I can look in the mirror in the morning and tell myself so. So Craig and I were both working with Lyft, which had started in Atlanta August 2013, and we were one of the first 20 to be hired.
Wow.
Yep. And after about 5 or 6 months, they'd asked us to go down to Tampa to help launch the Lyft market in Tampa. Wow. So we were part of that startup team going around to different markets. And we had a very successful weekend down there, and Craig and I were enjoying a few sodas.
Adult beverages.
And Craig, we were discussing Razer, and we were discussing the new economy and new apps and how these businesses were growing and using referrals and encouraging everybody that was involved in those platforms to refer people. And Craig told me the idea that he'd had basically from the cradle. So
And so I had that idea just in my head, and I wanted to figure out a way where I could help every business owner, specifically small business owners who can't really afford a lot of marketing, to capitalize on that word of mouth referral, because that's what's most important from all the research I was doing. And back in 2013, I'd read a couple articles from Business Insider, Forbes magazine, Times Week, and a lot of the articles, they simply said by 2020, 50% of the American population will be independent contractors or freelancers.
Wow.
And so I took that and ran with it, and here we are.
You mentioned every business needs customers. I was trying to think which one doesn't? I mean, funeral homes, they still need business.
Well, they're going to have. They already have customers. It's baked in.
And even the government is always looking for new customers, right?
There's that.
So, yeah, CTO developer, and you joined the team. It looks like in 2015 you came on board while still in high school. Is that?
Yeah, I was in the last 2 months of my. I was in the last 2 months of high school when I joined the team. It's kind of interesting to balance it. Finals and things,
Wow.
and then programming the next world-changing app is kind of an interesting task,
Yeah, I would say so. And then also joining us on the show is Brett Coleman. You're the catalyst. You're a disruptor.
That's what I like to think of myself.
I love those guys. Yeah.
So, I just came on with Razer probably not even a month ago.
Oh.
I just wasn't really happy with the position that I was in. Craig came to me with an opportunity, and the rest was just kind of history. We've known each other now for a couple years, and we've gone really close. And from the second that he told me about Razer, I 100% believed in his mission and everything that the application stood for, and I was just blown away when he asked me to be a part of it.
So you're the new kid on the block.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But tell us about your background. It looks like in technology project management, recruiting, road mapping.
Yeah, sure. So I was a software engineer for most of my career. I started out as an intern at a healthcare company, actually, right down the street, just running canned SQL scripts, and just worked my way up to developer. And I feel like a broken record saying this, but I always said that I had way too much personality to just pop my headphones on and just sit there and bang out code. And really like coming onto Razer, it's just kind of given me the opportunity to not only apply all those technical skills that I learned over the years, to kind of make them more approachable to everyone in the company, but also the project management piece as well. It's really kind of helped kind of roadmap where we plan on taking the application into the future.
No, so when me and Kim sat down to kind of discuss what are we going to call this thing, we literally wrote out what it does, and Razer stands for refer, acquire, share, earn, redeem, and so it's the process.
Aha!
Awesome.
Good question. Good answer.
Is by taking a percentage of the fee that the business owner would pay to the customers. So, for example, Scrubs and Scrubs. Say if you were to have a customer refer you a new customer, and you wanted to offer that customer $10, not only would the existing customer get $10, the new customer would get $10 after they do business with you, only then. And then we would simply take a percentage of that transaction fee.
So building loyalty,
Exactly.
which is very much important this day and age with all the deals that kind of inundated us earlier, and we lost a lot of loyalty in the business world.
Right.
So.
We didn't. Yeah, we wanted to stay out of the space of being, refer a new customer and get 10% off your next business, or hey, here's a great deal, come and get it. Like some of the social apps are. Obviously we did our due diligence against who we potentially are in the same space as, but we don't think we're in the same space as any of the, to mention them, Groupons and Scout Mobs, because we're not asking businesses to create something special, take a loss leader, offer it at a percentage or whatever. We're saying to somebody, if you do a good job, your customers should be your best salespeople.
Yeah.
And if you do a good job and incentivize your customers with a cash tip to bring them a new customer, you decide how much it's worth. I've spent 30 years in marketing with somebody above me or my board saying, okay, you want to spend all this on marketing, how can you guarantee it's going to bring us a return? And no marketing professional can really ever say that. But this does, because the business decides what incentive it wants to give. They don't pay anything to anybody. There's no sign-up fees. There's no recurring costs. They don't pay anything until a brand new customer walks through the door and pays them money.
Right now, we are specifically looking for our customer that would offer a referral fee that makes sense to us and also makes sense to bring new customers. So right now we have a few businesses on the line, a dog training facility, hairdresser,
yoga,
tanning salon, things of that nature.
It's a service, a
Yeah,
lot of service
exactly.
industry.
and we're looking at initially, I mean, at hyperlocal, and we want to make this a value. We don't want this to be something that somebody necessarily just spams their friends with and say, "Hey, you should, go to this new yoga studio," because it doesn't offer any value. So we'll also be building in incentives to, to offer valuable links.